Hi there, I'm Marcus Skindarian with the Skindarian Group of Compass here in Laguna Beach. This is another video in a series of videos we're doing where we interview local business owners and operators. And today we've got the honor of interviewing Brian Wisely. If you don't know, Brian is the owner and operator of the Well Personal Fitness Studio in North Laguna. With that, I'd like to introduce Brian Wisely. Brian? Oh no, my mom just showed up. Well, let me back up just a little bit and tell me a little bit about yourself and your history.
I was born in Glendale, California, real close to downtown LA. And then I got lucky in my teens and my family moved here in 1979. So I finished up high school at Laguna Beach and I was class of 82. I got into the fitness thing because I was always an athlete as a kid. Played every sport I could. I was just hungry for sports. And when we moved to Laguna Beach, I got really heavy into surfing and beach volleyball. And the beach volleyball in particular made me really want to, become a better athlete. So when I went off to college, I started taking exercise physiology courses and nutrition courses and anatomy courses, and that led me into my career as a trainer. When I first started out as a trainer, I was just an independent contractor working out at a gym, and I was waiting tables and bartending at night, and it was hard, man. I was working about 6 a.m. training people, and then I'd work in a restaurant until midnight, and get up and do it the next day. And in the middle of the day, I'd go play volleyball. So I was just really burning the candle at both ends. A couple of years of doing that, I finally was able to take the leap of faith and just go straight in 100% into being a trainer, and I've never looked back. And then in 2008, I opened my own studio, which I call The Well, next to the infamous actually, John Paul. And it's been going really well until the COVID-19 pandemic set in, and now I'm in rebuilding phase.
That's got to be brutal.
It's brutal, and it's not what you expect after being in business for 13 years. You don't expect to, it's almost like a complete reset.
Tell me about your structure and how you operate there.
Okay, yeah, we are a personal training studio, so all of the clients come in, have a trainer that they work with. The overall philosophy that I espouse is what I call the 5 pillars of fitness, and the 5 pillars are number one, the most powerful thing we do every day is the way we eat. So I really try to teach people how to eat in such a way that it meets their needs for the pleasures of food, but yet also supports their health and well-being, so that they're not eating foods that are leading them to be fat or foods that are leading them to be unhealthy. The second thing that I try to get people to focus on is cardiovascular conditioning. That's not just about your heart and lungs, it's about all of your organ systems and your veins and your arteries and the health of your brain. So people should be doing 150 minutes per week of purposeful cardio exercise. And that's just the minimum. And then the third thing is strength training. What a lot of people don't realize is that as we age, we start to lose muscle tissue. So after about your mid-20s, when you're not growing up anymore, you're actually kind of reversing, you're declining and growing down, I like to say. So strength training helps maintain your lean muscle tissue as you age, and that keeps your body functional, and it helps to keep body fat from accumulating. The fourth thing is mobility and flexibility, which is obviously really important for feeling comfortable in your body. You don't want to be the guy that stands up out of a chair and it takes you 5 minutes to get straightened up, important. And then the fifth and final pillar of the 5 pillars is about creating the lifestyle. And that's about consistency. You need to be doing the right things on a consistent basis.
Tell me about your wife, your family. Just Nadine's your wife.
Yep.
Is Stone your only child?
No, we also have a daughter named Rio, R-I-O.
Okay.
So,
that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, Nadine also grew up in Laguna Beach, as you know, and she was class of 91.
Okay.
9 years younger than me. We met when I was working on Forest Avenue at the Renaissance Cafe, and she was next door working in Bouchard's.
Yeah.
uh, uh, we had a long, drawn-out romance, um, and eventually we got married in the year 2000. So we've been married coming up on 20 years here in September.
Awesome.
Stone is our son, and he's 13. He'll be going into 8th grade at Thurston. He's a great kid, really enthusiastic about surfing. He's recently really gotten into mountain biking, and I'm amazed how much he's embraced mountain biking, which I love. And he plays guitar, and he plays a little piano, and he's a good kid.
Yeah.
He's got a big smile on his face all the time. He's happy, and I'm proud of him.
Yeah, he's a good kid. You can just tell for sure. You just know he's got a good soul there, and that's really cool.
And Rio, our daughter, she's 10. She'll be going into 5th grade at Top of the World. And she's a great kid too. She's very bright, very talented. She's a really good soccer player. She loves soccer. She just recently started surfing, and at 10 years old, she's already paddling into her own waves and standing up and going down the line. And so I'm really proud of her also.
How have you guys been directly impacted by all of this? You know, what did you have to do?
And then I started studying the CDC guidelines for what sanitation procedures we needed to put in place, which isn't terribly complicated. Just required getting a few things and setting things up. So for example, when people come into my studio, the first thing I have them do is dip their shoes in a low basin of sanitation solution to get any germs that may be on their shoes off of their shoe solution. And then I have people wash their hands, and then the staff, we're all wearing masks for the obvious reason. And then we clean the place from stem to stern constantly, wiping everything down. And then I have a professional sanitation crew come in twice a week after hours. More of a one-on-one studio where we have no more than 4 trainers with 4 clients. We keep the social distancing in mind, but we are able to move around the facility. I've got 2,500 square feet here. So it's a pretty big space. So 8 people in 2,500 square feet were able to provide ample social distancing. And then again, we wipe down all of the touch points in between uses. So if somebody uses their dumbbells, we put them back on the rack. The next person comes along, wipes them down before they hand them to their client.
What are some of the positive things and results that you're seeing out of these adjustments and changes?
And out of this is, I always felt that my gym was really clean, but I've learned to pinpoint and identify some things that I didn't know about until this happened. So I am much more well informed and equipped to keep my facility safe and clean. Things that I was unaware of. So that's one positive that's come out of it.
You as a family, what have you guys missed most as a result of what we're doing here in this lockdown?
Socializing, number one. We get a little bit of that, but not like we used to. Going over to friends' homes for dinner or going out to dinner with people. We're still getting some beach time in. I'm a little hesitant to go down there on the weekends because it's so crowded, but I do miss the beach. I'm not getting as much as I normally do.
And then what have you guys been doing that you've been really enjoying during this time? Have you done anything that's come out of this as a result?
Yeah, family time. There's a lot more close, time with family. Every dinner's at home. We have everybody sits at the table. We have a nice dinner. We did do one camping trip. We went out in early May to camp on some BLM land out just north of Joshua Tree. We got out in the middle of nowhere and had a great time camping. That was fun.
The family stuff, the dinners, all that stuff that we take for granted and we don't do as much because we get so busy during our normal schedule. But those are the things for us that I've really enjoyed the most is that I've played basketball with Sam. I've thrown the baseball with him. We've done a lot of things that we hadn't done for quite a while. And that's what I think of is when we were growing up as kids in Laguna, you know, the way we used to operate was like when it got dark, it's time to come home. Hey, anything that you want to talk about lastly about your business you'd
Yeah,
like us to
sure.
know?
To share one last thing. You know,
Sure.
my mission statement for the Well is to support the community's efforts at fitness and well-being, and that's really what my purpose is. My goal in life is to help people um, dial in the appropriate fitness lifestyle for them, individualized. So I welcome anybody to contact me. I'm happy to do a free consultation, you know, 30, 45 minutes, sit down, discuss, you know, what it is you want to achieve and how I think you are best able to achieve it. And I love doing that for people. Sometimes those people become clients in my gym and sometimes they don't. And either way, I'm happy to do it. Great. Hey, it was my pleasure to do this, Marcus. Thank you for inviting me. I love talking to you. We should do it more often.
Me too. Me too. We will. Awesome. Brian, thanks so much. Have a great